Some exemplary writing examples that I have already seen in some of the work that we've done this year. It's really important for you to be able to see these, to be able to see what is looked for in what we expect from you with your writing this year. Now, you've already done quite a bit of writing. You did some writing when we talked about Malala in the last question. You've done a couple of writing assignments in Amplify, some shorter pieces that are just like a paragraph. So I want to show you, make sure that you see what some exemplary writing examples look like so that you at home can model your writing after the examples that you see here. So this is the first one. This is from Malala. And I pulled this one because I want you to notice the formatting that they used for their quotation mark, and notice the punctuation, and then how they explain it. So it says the author said they are not allowed to go anywhere without a male relative. Breaking these rules brings severe punishment, which may include public beatings or even execution. So we've got our evidence-based term right here at the beginning. We have a comma and quotation marks. We have the quote directly from the text. It ends with a period, closes quotation marks. And then this is what I really like. This shows the rules they had to follow had punishments that could kill them or ruin their lives. So they kind of connected the idea that the rules were strict and oppressive. They have the piece of evidence, and then they explain that to say that the rules had punishments. Okay, so I thought that was really important. Here's number 2. This one is from a piece of writing that you did in Amplify. I want you to notice the lead, so how they lead into the answering the question, and then the evidence and the transitions that they use. This one was really great with transition words. It says, in my opinion, Ji Lee was hopeful at first, but soon lost her hope. The reason I thought she was hopeful at first was because she said that she was happy and loved. In the prologue, it says that she achieved and grew every day and she was proud. This makes me think she had hope. Later, though, it's as it was stated, until that fateful year 1966. Then, that's the year the Cultural Revolution started. At that moment, it made me think whether she was afraid or her hopefulness has gone away, but I knew it was not something good. Another short reason can be that she used the word fateful, which she refers to a dangerous time of year. It shows that Cultural Revolution was a disastrous year. So while some of the writing in this one is not particularly perfect, I love the transitions. The reason later though, but I knew, another short reason. Okay, I love that there's some explanation here that it says she used the word fateful, which she refers to a dangerous time or a disastrous year. The couple things in here I would change is I would take out all these I's. So in my opinion, I would take that out. Or the reason she was hopeful. You don't have to put in the words like I thought. Okay, so I would reword things a little bit to take out the personal pronouns I and my. But overall, this was a really well-written paragraph that I thought you could use as a model for your own writing. Here's example number 3. This one is also from Malala. This is that last question where you had to talk about Malala's attitude and then provide evidence to support it. So I really pulled this one because I like that it answers that first question. It said, explain Malala's attitude after the attack. And it says, Malala stayed positive and kept fighting for what she believed in. She managed to survive and bring more kids across the world to stand up against the Taliban. And then we have our evidence. The text says, the United Nations Special Envoy for Global Education immediately started a petition calling out the president of Pakistan to make a place in school for every girl, which meant, so here again, we've got that explanation, which meant that she got the United Nations to start a petition and stand up for Pakistan, or really kind of stand up for education. So I like that this one really answered that first question that said explain her attitude first, and then it goes into the evidence. So that was a great example. This is also an example from Malala. This is again from number 11, where you had to explain the attitude. It says she fought for what was right. She was understanding that people were trying to kill her, but she wanted to fight for all the females in her country to go to school. Okay, so they answered the question, what was her attitude? And then our evidence. From the reading, I know that she appeared in a New York Times documentary, went on television shows, and gave powerful speeches to Pakistani kids. Her message was always the same. All children deserve the right to an education. So this one was a great example. We've got our quotation marks, our evidence-based term, our end quotation marks. We really answered that question in the beginning, explaining her attitude. And so this was a great example as well. Okay. And again, one more from Malala. She recovered and was still courageous, choosing to still fight for what she believes in. So again, we explained her attitude. We answered the first part of that question. Then we cite our evidence. According to the text, in one of her first public statements after the shooting, Malala stated that she felt her life was to serve humanity. Okay, and then my favorite part of the paragraph, the explanation. This shows she was still willing to do what was right. Okay, and that explains, it connects her evidence to her serving humanity and to the idea of her standing up for what she believes in, for choosing to do what was right. So that was another great example that I pulled. So as you're writing your paragraphs and your responses in Amplify, keep these things in mind. Answer the question, support that answer with evidence from the text, and then explain that evidence. Connect that evidence back to that first idea, okay? I hope this has been helpful, and